can be even closer than that.
Yeah, and Fnatic does their trademark tested our ban. In terms of CE, I don't think they feel too good about last game either. Yes, they nearly won, but barely deserved, as they just got one fight that with Punisher, it was like a 6v5, and that's what they won, but for the rest they were almost entirely helpless, purely relying on a mistake of Fnatic, which they gave once, and then they nearly made it happen. A lot of mistakes there. CE was thoroughly outdrafted. I think in theory you could say that, and then in practice you could see that as well.
Yes.
But CE has many other tricks up their sleeves. They don't have to play that kind of style per se.
Yeah, they did play Stitch's Medivh versus KSV the last time that they played Towers of Doom. The only time they played Towers of Doom at GCWC. Fnatic has not played on Towers of Doom yet at this tournament.
I think this is where Fnatic gets Greymane. Quacknix's hero pool is good. He played Sergeant Hammer, Cassia, Falstad, Greymane. But certainly Greymane and Falstad must be two of his favorites. It would be safe for Fnatic to snap that up right now. On the other hand, Dahaka is also really good on this map. It's hard to say.
Yeah, the size of the battleground is very big, so having Dahaka is really nice, and especially because CE has already taken one of the globals that Fnatic likes away.
And Rhaegar's so good here too. So good at the Goblin Sapper camps. I think Dahaka would be a mistake. Then you give away Greymane Rhaegar. They got so much sway on the Sappers. Then you're forced into Vala to also have Sapper camp takeability in a very short order. I think this has to be Greymane or Rhaegar.
It's
gonna be Dahaka. Okay.
Dahaka first pick both of these games. Last game by CE.
Now Greymane Rhaegar, I would say, is the expected picks here for CE. What else could it be? Could be like hard all-in style, like Genji, Uther, Genji, Rhaegar, something like that. Pick it up early so it can't be denied.
Yeah.
Maybe even Garrosh early. But like you said, they have secret weapon Stitches Medivh.
Yeah, Abathur. Abathur Genji then, right?
Oh. I mean, the Genji is implied. It's threatened, right? And Fnatic hasn't been running as much Genji recently. Plus, I don't know if we should bring this in. I guess we should. Quacknix has been feeling a little under the weather. So to commit to Genji now, I feel like it's more risky for him now to commit to Genji.
Yeah, I did talk to Kaldor and he said he's feeling better, but still not 100%. So that's a good point. Maybe going for the more comfort of Greymane than just banning the Genji. And then you take away two very good clone targets for the Abathur.
Yeah. Let's say if you take Greymane Rhaegar here and you ban Genji, you're probably in a pretty good situation.
Yes.
CE, very specific draft here. Abathur, Arthas, really not playing the general standard meta. They're going with two specific styles. Last game and this. Let's see if it pays off for them.
What's cool is by getting that Arthas, though, they still do have one person that they could clone and a good hat target too. Arthas clones are not out of the realm of possibility. And you also, if Fnatic wanted to go the Greymane route, already have that as a counter.
Yeah.
For him too. So that does work out still for CE. There are other clone targets, but in general, when you want to clone and have a damage dealer to clone, it's Greymane and Genji that really stand out. Jaina too, we saw Jaina, it was from SPT really early on in this tournament, but Jaina has fallen out. Yeah, and Jaina's fallen out quite a lot.
Stukov has to be on the minds of CE. They banned Rhaegar last time. Like I said, I thought it was a mistake. Stukov was going to be too dangerous. It looked like that was true, at least.
Oh, they're going to do the same thing.
Still, Rhaegar's worth cannot be denied on the Sappers. But I just don't think Smexy is your target ban possibility.
It is. I wonder if they're trying to take the burst healers away, like they take Uther with whatever.
Uther Genji next?
Uther Genji. I don't know how Genji makes it through, but yes, if it makes it through.
It could also be an Illidan style of play from CE. They've already shown they are more willing to go into alternative drafts with a pretty good level of competency.
Yeah, let's see what Paradise has been playing as of late. He has played a little bit of Illidan.
Could
Also,
still ban Tyrael as well. Tyrael Arthur is quite nice together with Abathur too.
even Lucio as a movement speed enabler for fast rotations of CE are trying to go for a lot of picks with their Arthas. But
Yeah.
Genji in the end makes total sense.
Yeah, that was the first thought. The rest is alternatives. Fnatic once again, same ban order as last game. Tassadar into Genji. And for the same reasons. Now, CE, will they empower frontline, double warrior support and a damage? And just use Abathur as bonus damage on someone like Arthas or Tyrael? Or is it going to be a single support, mass burst, double assassin style? They still have a lot of options.
What would you like to see at this point with the Abathur?
I think Illidan has a good matchup so far. Into Dahaka, he has a good matchup. He can do a lot of threat on top lane, which often gets ignored.
Yeah.
He has a good matchup into Greymane, into a Nubarak. Illidan, Tyrael, but maybe you save the Illidan. There's no way Fnatic grabs it anyway, so you go Tyrael and Uther now. Or Tyrael and... or no Tyrael. Uther and a range.
Okay.
Li Ming and a support, something like that. But it's not going to be that way. It's 3 frontliners with 1 more damage to be flexed.
The old Leoric Abathur.
Yeah, it's really good. You basically have Abathur as a secondary support, Karazim as the main support, and then Leoric with Spooky Walk can do a Shrink Ray on everyone, going with the Ghost, Ominous Wraith, reduce their damage, and you have a very tough team to kill.
Fnatic have their work cut out for them with that, but they do have Greymane with a Cursed Bullet who can try to do that. 2 final picks. We're waiting on the support for Smexy. Could combo off the Stukov again. Stukov has the added bonus on Towers of Doom of being able to silence the sappers so they can't run in and do the charge into towers.
Yeah, that's true.
Very frustrating to play against.
Stukov and a mage for Mene. Could be Kuromi. Slowing Sands quite good against that team. She has big distance as well.
This is my jam.
Lucio and Li Ming.
Needs
Okay.
me.
Mobility is chosen. Okay, 4 melee, no range assassin. Abathur Zeratul very strong, so it's going to be Zeratul copy, and they're going to try and blow up either Lucio or Li Ming. I think this is once again a very extreme draft by CE, and it's been giving them a map win per series. So far, they're at 5 points in the tournament at rank 5. If they can get a point here and win against Roll20 tomorrow, they can still make top 4. It will be difficult, but they're still away.
A lot of Void isolation possibilities, even Entomb isolation with a 7-sided strike for CE. Really cool to see from that. And trying to stop a momentum of potentially double reset composition of Greymane and Li Ming. Leoric to deal with Dahaka, try to make sure that he's keeping up with the split soaks that Dahaka will be doing too. Looks pretty cool for CE.
Yeah, I mean, I like the idea. I think it's a very difficult draft to execute, and it is the underdog draft. But if Zeratul plays it well, if they can find a few pickoffs here and there, and do good Void Prisons and Zeratul Ultimate Evolution copies, there is a chance for CE. And I think the strongest point for CE will be around that level 16 mark.
Yeah, the last thing I'm scared of for CE is trying to get through Sound Barrier. There's nothing to stop it other than just pure murder.
Yeah.
Trying to kill Lucio before he gets set off. So let's get going. Let's see if it happens. In the blue, CE Paradise playing that Zeratul, KTY on Abathur, Alufool playing his Karazim, Shuyu flexing over to the Leoric, and Wind playing Arthas.
And on the right side, in the red, now at 7 points, getting very close to top 4 playoffs. Quacknix on Greymane, Breeze on the Nubarak, Mene on Li Ming, Smexy on Lucio, Bad Benny on Dahaka. It's Team Fnatic.
I'm really excited for this composition of CE. It reminds me already of the Towers of Doom they played versus KSV, where they use the fact that they have such flexible damage dealers, someone like Shuyu, who has been their Tracer and Vala player, suddenly playing the Leoric, just to try to bring an unorthodox composition, recognizing that the higher skilled team in a straight up fight is going to be Fnatic, but using something that the Chinese region for Heroes of the Storm has been known for a long time, and that's flexibility in things like their compositions, their talent picks. It's exciting. I'm very excited for this game.
Yeah, it's in true CE fashion if they can make it work. Nice trap there actually on Smexy, but he comes in with that sound wave. Didn't get caught.
Leoric hanging out in the top versus Dahaka while the rest of the teams try to do a 4-man rotation between mid and bot. Abathur is going to come in handy during the altar phases especially, but does come at somewhat of a drawback for CE because he doesn't get ultimate evolution until 10. CE are once again trying to play a team that gets stronger and stronger into the later game. So we'll see how much Fnatic can abuse that.
Yeah, same as last game really. CE doesn't go blow for blow, doesn't draft, crowd control comp, kill comp, early game comp. It's very mid and late game, this game and the last. So they'll once again be waiting for any mistakes by Fnatic in the rotation, bad team fights, misclicks, whatever. Capitalize on that, and then they do have the power to snowball it out of control. But even something as simple as this, the fact that CE doesn't have the resources to get a Goblin Sapper camp, just shows how much of an underdog they are in the early game. And the best thing that CE can get right now is one altar.
Yes, get their safe altar, focus on getting that, making sure that nothing fishy happens from Fnatic and stalls all of the altars for forever. They're going to use the Lufu along with the Symbiote to put some extra damage and delay longer. Quacknix takes a boatload of damage as he disengages out. Paradise is going to start channeling this. Wind slowing Breeze and Mene so much. Impale comes out, stalls at the very last second. But because of all this aggression that CE is putting on multiple fronts, now CE needs to back off very quickly. They have a Wraith Walk. Shu gets down. But, man, CE are going to lose Leoric, but they got 2 of the altars.
Yeah, that was actually so smart by CE. The way that they pushed at top altar, it was never about getting top altar. It was about pulling a second hero up there together with Dahaka and preventing the Dahaka trademark Brush Stalker to the bottom altar. It allowed them to buy enough time. And the cool thing is, with these heroes from CE, all of them are so good at disengaging. They either have slow on enemy or they have their own mobility. You put 2 top, 2 bottom, and Symbiote can help the one that is most even at 2 versus 2. And this is the power of Abathur. CE actually understands this very well. And they steal an early altar that, in theory, they have no right to. Very nicely done.
They are going to still deal with the might of Fnatic and sieging the lanes, though. And they did lose Leoric for a time because of that. And with all of that, Fnatic has been free to rotate quite a bit between the lanes. CE just mopping up the soak wherever possible. Fnatic goes back to get the second Sapper camp of the game, start pushing that bottom lane even more. But it's hard to convey how big of a win being able to get 2 altars out of that first phase with an Abathur composition is.
Yeah, because it buys you more late game.
It does. Yep. And it's a lot of that came down to the damage they were able to put on Greymane, using that early game bursty damage from a Kharazim that you just never expect from a support, but now you do because you could see it right there. Thank you, Alufool.
Yeah, you know, but it's true. The damage on Greymane led to a little bit of a vacuum right after that at that top altar. All the damage traits you can get, they seem so insignificant sometimes because, you know, they can get out-healed. But the seconds it gains you, even when you don't get a takedown, are really key, especially when a team knows how to capitalize on it. Mene actually dodging a death coil. Suyu on Leoric.
Stays alive.
Drain Hope was attached, gave him a lifeline. Nice umbilical cord.
But the zoning from Fnatic as Dahaka's in the bottom lane.
Yeah, they will secure an altar as well. Good job. Forcing a fight mid. Now, this is a double altar phase, so everything's still to play for.
Yeah, but that zoning was just so good that Fnatic, even though they were split with Dahaka in the bottom, they're still able to fight over this altar just because they zoned so effectively the members of CE. And now CE are facing that same problem of a pseudo 4v5. They have the Symbiote. Paradise is going to shark around, see if he can find Mene. Shuyu, Wraith walks out, low in health.
Alufo doesn't want to give a heal to Leoric. He's saving his cooldown. Wind with the coil interrupt. This should punish Wind. He turns on Icebound Fortitude. That helps him. But look at the team of Fnatic. They're so healthy. This is not a fight that CE can reliably take. They shouldn't have thought so either. Abathur does get some XP in the top lane, I guess. And all they lose is Leoric. So XP-wise, it's not a big trade-off.
Yeah, the minute they lose Leoric, they leave. Well, so I thought. Aloof is going to do this again. They're just going to brawl for forever. Now that was probably too much.
Yeah.
Before it was fine. They just lost Leoric. They had Abathur pushing the top lane.
He just can't get enough of this.
They're doing a great job of coming at Fnatic from all angles, but this is just too much to lose now.
Yeah, they're coming at Fnatic from all angles, but leaving in many pieces.
Yeah. Expertly done.
Nice job by Fnatic using beetles to tank the fort. And Nubrak enables fort diving, the very best from all the warriors, because of those beetles drawing fort shots. And as much as buying time using Abathur as an experienced vessel is a valid strategy, killing enemy heroes even more so, especially when you get 3 to 4 and Fnatic takes a really big lead. Ultimately, CE, as much as I praised them before for recognizing that 2v2s in different parts of the map played to their strengths, that they understood it, they should have never wanted to go blow for blow in a full team fight at level 8-8.
Yeah.
Just you know, if you can get an interrupt, sure, 1 or 2, and then just skedaddle.
Now from that, they'll be licking their wounds for a little while. Fnatic constantly focusing on this bottom lane. Every single time they can get a sapper camp, they have on their side, and then once they had the heroic advantage, they even stole away CEs so that they could bring down the first bell tower. Doing this versus Abathur is such a big victory because it makes him have to push defensively instead of offensively trying to take out especially the top and the mid, which you often see from Abathurs on this map. And there's also no mule, so there's no way to try to heal that back up. CE gets caught all down here hanging out.
So he takes a lot of damage. He's effectively useless in the follow-up fight. In fact, he is a Li Ming ammunition reload.
That was the first reset. Cocoon breaks off. KTY, the clone being dealt with. Paradise hasn't used Void Prison yet. Isolation and a drag perfectly done. There will be a palm that procs. And Li Ming does go down. Aloof will be, or Paradise being able to take that one out.
And there's still ghouls. This is actually a good fight for CE. Void Prison comes out.
March the Black
Vorpal
King.
Blade on Breeze.
Chasing down Bad Benny. A Nubarak went down. Paradise is just kind of like cleaning up the mess. The janitor Zeratul.
Really good fight by CE. A lot of things happened there. The double Zeratul on Li Ming. Sound barrier initially saving her, but the real Zeratul finishing her off. Good play by Paradise. Then following a Nubarak. The Void Prison on the support. Howling Blast hit. That was a really good set of accuracy and synergy by CE. Very good team fighting. And they get 3 tower shots from that because they lost a bell tower.
It was well done to know that Leoric would still be back pretty fast too, and because all the members of Fnatic were there, he could cheat death even faster to come back in, march the Black King through. But man, I have to echo it, Paradise's Zeratul play. The Void Prison didn't hit a whole lot of people there, but still being able to get the isolation kills, sharking around, catch Li Ming as she was retreating, and then catch Breeze as he was retreating too.
Yeah. Look at the Toxic Nest setup now. That's bonus damage nest with 40% slow. Already cutting off the retreat. This is a very arduous location for Fnatic to be in. Daka can brush talk in. But CE looking to see if they can do the wraparound. Now, Paradise actually goes all the way around on Zeratul. Playing very safe. Recognizing he would love to kill those sappers.
Man, I'm just recognizing how, or realizing how big the level 16 talent tier spike is for CE. That has to be something on the minds of Fnatic as they're trying to escort in these sappers. Just to see if they can get these extra shots in. There's one left.
Oh,
and oh, Smexy, so good.
Triple sapper went into the tower line. That's 3 core shots. Very nice job by Fnatic. I was wondering if CE would be willing to burn Void Prison, sectioning off the Fnatic heroes and just killing the sappers in isolation.
Yeah, that would have meant they didn't have it for this next fight though, so
yeah.
they'll take that one. those 3 hits so that they can still have Void Prison, a core part of their fight, their team fight capabilities.
Nice little damage on Smexy by Paradise.
Yeah, I was looking at 16, sentenced to death.
Yeah.
Way better for Paradise to be able to solo someone. Way of the 100 Fist to go along with that. If Loof feels he can get away with it and not have to take Cleansing Touch. May want to because of the drag and all of the lockdown of a new Barak. We'll have to see. Singularity Spike. Drag just turns around. She's blown up very quickly.
And that gives the enhanced agility to Dahaka. He now has top movement speed in the brush. Zeratul with Cloak getting zoned out. Greymane kills him. Nearly.
Aloof palm for himself. Went back in. Was hoping he could bust Wind out of the cocoon. Sound barrier used by Smexy, but CE all disengage off the side of that. Boop reveals Paradise now. He has to use Void Prison.
Did you see that Zeratul Kafi channeling the altar while the whole team was fighting as Suyu takes one more for the team?
Almost got it. But Fnatic will walk away with another altar as they're in the bottom. And another kill on Leoric.
No, Abathur just got back to Bell Tower, so saving a one-shot in that sense. As Suyu does go down one more time on Leoric. And you know, the experience game not too bad for CE. Fnatic has started to group up more and more. Leoric is almost back. No Void Prison, no heroics for CE whatsoever. And Fnatic, they have a pretty short heroic setup. Curse Bullet 30 seconds, Cocoon 60, Isolation 60. That means Fnatic can fight often.
Yeah, and even Wave of Force. It's just down to the sound barrier. It was used in the last fight to force CE away from the altar. CE are sharking around. Now that they have started to ramp up into the later game, they just want to brawl and brawl and brawl. They don't have Void Prison, and they're still ready to set up and see if they can find somebody who is by themselves and take them out with the lockdown and with the Zeratul. Leoric still soaking away as we can. Same with Dahaka. Both teams ramping up, hoping they can get 16 for the next phase.
As many takedowns as Fnatic has had, I feel like it's getting really strong what CE is doing. Their power level seems to be increasing. The XP is keeping up. In comes Dahaka though. March with the Black King.
Problem is that Cocoon giving time to once again take out Shuyu at the start of this fight and make CE back off. It gets easier for Leoric later, but it's 20 where he gets the big spike of defensiveness, right?
You think he'll take the Protected?
Maybe Protected. Shroud of the Dead King is what I was thinking.
I think maybe Protected will be good because Mena is being so empowered by those abilities.
Yeah.
The Burning Rage would also be nice. But
I think the Protected, especially because he's the focus. As soon as Cocoon goes down, Shuyu's always up in front. They just hit him with some of Anubarak's abilities, Cursed Bullet him, and he goes down so quickly before he can start healing back up from Drain Hope.
yeah.
Man, Aloof has been hit by so many of those
Go
drags.
into the Dark
Swarm!
Go into the Dark Swarm!
Oh no!
He could have procced it himself.
Carapace is keeping him alive.
Abathur did the altar proc top left. Leoric goes down at the bottom.
And dies. There's a Cocoon. Focus.
Oh.
Isolation. Drag.
Oh, where are you going,
Dead.
Breeze? Just grabbing
Just
the altar.
It's fine.
I knew you had it.
My teammates had that the whole time.
So that's 8 shots Fnatic, 4 shots CE.
But CE were fighting that without the 16. Now they have it.
Who will Paradise sentence to death?
Ideally, Smexy, Gleaming, so no resets. One of those. Looks like Smexy's on the brain. He is never going to go away. Unfortunately, he's slowed down by the forts, so that gives Mene a kill.
Yeah, no, it's still a pretty good job, you know. You get a 1-for-1 when you're level down. Okay, 1 for 2. Anyway, I was just saying, when you get 1-for-1 when you're level down, that's worth it.
Yeah.
Also, you take away the only support is also worth it, so that the Vile Nests start to do significant damage that cannot be out-healed easily. But now, with Leoric going down again, experience-wise, it wasn't a good trade. But there is a thing that's called comeback XP. The more levels you're down, the more bonus XP you get, and vice versa.
I just love how CE is following Fnatic constantly now that they have their later game set up. Remorseless Winter 2, it looks not too bad for CE if they want to make the Towers of Doom come back. They're not sitting at a super low core because they were able to get those 2 altars in the first phase. They've been able to get some here and there. They've also been able to keep their bottom bell tower alive ever since they took it back. This will be problematic now that there's some sappers for Fnatic.
It's 40% damage on Quacknix. In comes the copy. Copy! Oh no, that's another copy. That's real.
Nice! So nicely done by Mene. Just waits out the palm with precision and finesse, taking out Paradise.
Hoppa! There we go. Leoric down as well. Oh, that was so nice. Like a 4th of July firework. Mene comes in, explodes Zeratul. And now such a good position into these next 2 altars. And maybe even bottom bell tower first for Fnatic. Yep, there we go.
Shu is not having the easiest of time this game, but they're hanging in. Arthas and the likely Abathur trying to take on the 2 members of Fnatic who are stalling that out. Luful starting to come up, can dash onto this. Yeah, almost takes out Quacknix.
Oh, so close. Quacknix gets away. Fnatic with the peels.
Wind goes down. Another kill as Leoric comes back in.
Zeratul's coming back. He does not use the teleporter. Abathur actually will try to snipe this.
Oh my, that's scary. Fnatic are way too close for that. KTY will slug on away. Karzim, the next to fall. Fnatic with 17 kills to 3.
Yeah, lockdown chain effective once again. Divine Palm, no time to proc. Boom! Mene with perfect coordination. Following up on his warriors. The setup is so nice, but by God, Mene's follow-through is perfect.
Yeah,
so many kills.
He is showing off this game on his Li Ming. 1 altar claimed. Boss will get 4 more shots. 5 more shots with the other altar. And that will end the game.
Just so. Nothing to be gainsaid here anymore. CE drops to Fnatic. 3 versus 19 takedowns. It looked like it was going to be close, but they were honestly outplayed. Fnatic takes 2 points here against CE. That puts them at 8 points in this group, Gilly. And tomorrow they're facing SPT, who are at 3 points in this league. Fnatic looking 99% sure to advance, if not 100%, to the top 4 of the knockout stage.
Yeah, I think when most teams talk about the Chinese teams here at Gold Club World Championship, CE are the most terrifying. They are the scariest because they can draft compositions like they just drafted. You never know what they're going to bring, and they are menacing. They are willing to fight you. They're willing to bring the team fight to any team here, even a team like KSV, which they did there. And although they didn't get any victories versus KSV either, it is very fun to watch, and I know they've got a lot of people rooting and cheering for them.
Yeah, and you know, CE, even though they lost, they did so, I feel like, in a better way, because they were proactive, aggressive, they were very honed in on a particular style of drafting and team fighting.
Yes.
They showed some good moments, but ultimately they were not a match for Fnatic yet.
Yeah, I wonder, both times we saw compositions that took a little time for them to start going, getting up to gear, and I'm wondering if maybe CE will take that back. Granted, having the Leoric Abathur and the Karazim, that kind of mitigates that somewhat. We saw that at the beginning, that CE were able to get into those skirmishes, those trades, and still be able to set themselves up well into the mid game. But this guy stopped that. He stomped quite hard on that with his Li Ming play.
Yeah, Leoric became a source of healing and experience for Mene with that dominance, with the just the kills that they've been getting, and I feel like, yeah, CE they were able to put a break on the amount of XP differential thanks to Leoric Abathur, but they were never really close to winning an entire team fight.
Yeah, but what I was saying for them is maybe we see them try to focus on heroes that don't take quite so long to scale up, so that we know that they can play, that they might get a Dahaka to try to help them get to that point, but it does seem like they are putting themselves behind by the time they get to heroic abilities, and then it's difficult to punish a team that is one of the best in the world, right?
Yeah, that was their problem, but you're always in trouble when you're against one of the best in the world.
That's true, that's true. Even if they went for early game, maybe not being able to get the kills there, but it was a great series from CE versus Fnatic. Both teams now just have the 1 series left tomorrow. Fnatic looks in good shape to be in the upper bracket for the knockout stage, but CE, they've still got some fight left in them.
Yeah, and CE will be facing Roll 20. Will be a very cool match.